Everybody, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Jobs reports out today. Right here. Non-farm employment change. We get 147. Big. That's a big outperformance right there. Unemployment rate ticking back down. Expected a 4.3. Got a 4.1. Hey. That sounds like no rate cuts necessary, right? Everything's hunky-dory. Everything's going great. It's kind of like this dichotomy of the Trump wants rate cuts, and the big reason is there are trillions of dollars of commercial real estate loans that are just they've come due. They're not being renewed. They're not being foreclosed on. Something like 30% of the banks in the U.S. have lending commercial real estate exposure 300% of their actual equity value. 300%. Trump, you have to realize Trump came up in real estate. He sees the stress in the real estate market. He knows that can unfold a great financial crisis type situation. That was born in residential, but what if we have the same type of event happen in commercial real estate? Right? This is an interesting situation that's kind of cooking in the background. It's like everybody asks me, like, what could be the catalyst that causes the giant down? How about commercial real estate exposure? What if all of a sudden one of the big banks can't hang on anymore? They can't make it work. The stress test went through and everybody passed and blah, blah, blah. But 30% of them have real estate exposure, commercial real estate exposure, 300% of their equity value. And guess what? Nobody can afford to refinance it at, upwards of 7-8% right now. So Trump harping on, we need to cut these rates. He wants to jump it all the way back down to 1%. But same government trying to make everybody feel good. We get employment ticking up. We get unemployment ticking down. We even get unemployment claims coming down. Now, interesting enough, the continued unemployment claims actually hit a high, the highest high we've had since we came off of COVID. So something's going on. Like they're, as always, cooking the numbers. Cooking the numbers as always. So remember, today is an early close. Closing the market early, about 1 o'clock. Futures close at futures keep going, but bonds close at 2 o'clock. I think options settle at 1:15 Eastern time, of course. And if you got options open, stuff expiring today, make sure you get it taken care of. You don't have till the normal close because we're closing early. Market won't be open tomorrow. I will be here for crypto, do a crypto special, as always. Come hang out with me. I expect a lighter crowd, but hey, it's kind of the way it rolls. So before we talk to any trades or anything, all trading involves a substantial risk of loss. Past performance not necessarily indicative of future results. This presentation intended to be informational, educational, fun, entertaining, not a recommendation to be buying or selling any financial instrument. So if you desire somebody to tell you what to do, it's not what I'm doing. All right, I'm not giving you financial advice. You need to hire and consult a financial advisor. Erdy, my man, you need to figure out a plan. Stop asking me what to do. I'm just a guy that makes money trading. I'm not trying to tell anybody how to run their own business, trading business. I know a few high probability patterns that I figured out over the years. I do pretty good. as we can see over here, this is my all-time right here on this account. And when we go look into it here, you can see I didn't really use this account. Somebody was like, hey, you ought to just hide all this past in this account. Yeah, you ought to just hide it and start right here. I was like, that's not being transparent though. I opened this account years ago and didn't really use it for anything. I just put money in it here on tax day. And now I'm actually starting to trade it. Like actively, real deal, trying to trade it, not just playing with Robinhood's platform. And that's what I was doing over here, is playing with Robinhood's platform. Now actually trying to turn this into something that makes money. Why using Robinhood? Because they don't charge any commissions at all. I'm pushing upwards of 30 options contracts a week. That adds up. When you consider the cost of that at most brokers, that adds up to substantial chunks of money. You may be like, well, you don't get the best fills at Robinhood. I'm doing pretty okay. When we go look at the year to date, I'm up $7 grand here. 98% win rate. That's not too shabby. You look at the 3-month, yeah, we started tax time, right? Look back at the graph, you can see coming in, this account was doing nothing. Right on tax week, we started making some gains. Where's the one loss? Right there. I bought some VIX to protect against a downside move. So I'll be booking out some more profit today. Got some more stuff closing. Roll down here. You can see I'm in the top 500 traders for the last 3 months. For the year, they won't rank me. I need more trades. I've got 61 trades. I need 100 for all time. I'm going all the way back to the account beginning. I got 78 trades. I need 100 to get ranked. For the month, only shows I'm at 2.2. And Canfo has a weird way of counting them when the trades go through. It's like when we dive in here and look at the trades. When we dive down here, this Nike play right here. They show I was in and out the 17th, but I wasn't. I was in the 17th, but I was out on the 27th for a penny. Right there. Closed it out for 1 cent. It's like, where's the fees? Robinhood has 0 fees. That's what I'm talking about. I don't pay any money to fees for all these contracts. And there were 4 contracts involved in that one. Got 2 different fills. You see some of these, like Rocket Lab right here, pushing 7 contracts. DJT, pushing 6 contracts on that one. Look at this one, 11 contracts. So fees are still 0. Those fees start adding up when you're paying 25 cents in and out. You do that 11 times, that starts adding up to dollars. So when you look up here at my profile, it says fees are 0. That's what I'm talking about. $0 fees. It's a way to save money. It adds up, especially when you're pushing high volume. Right there. So 98% win rate so far this year. This number probably going to crank up pretty big. I have 700 Rocket Lab shares. Got put those down around 25 cost basis. Look at this baby. I sold 39 strike calls against it right here. I was trying to sell 44s, couldn't get filled. Went for the 39s. Rather make a couple $100 while I'm holding this. I like to get paid to wait. I like the market to pay me to wait in a trade. So I'm not just hoping it goes higher. I'm getting paid. Does it limit the upside? Sure, it limits the upside, but we're not above 39 right now, so not too concerned. Maybe we go up to 41. It'll be okay. And do the math on that. From 25 to 39, Grab the calculator just so we don't do anything wrong here. 39 minus, let's just say 26 because it's 25 and change. 13 bucks a share times 700. That's a nice chunk of money. That's a bigger number than I'm up so far in this account. That's a nice chunk of money. Plus the calls I sold. So that's the game right here. You know, everybody, ever since I became a guru, everybody's wanting to know, like, JT, how do you just manage a portfolio, right? What do you do? So that's how it works. I'm showing you how to manage a portfolio. Now, how do you get access? Well, you can follow along with the closed trades on KInfo. You can follow along with the open trades in the channel member area in YouTube here. And if you want to see every twist and turn and be able to ask me questions, it's very intensive. Some weeks I put up to like 30 different trade actions in this account. I reserve that for my Tremar Trading Lab group just because that's a lot to put out, a lot to keep up with right there. Hey, Rongamer, have fun fishing up there. Happy 4th. And so that's one I believe is still got upside to it. This one, consolidating down here. I sold an 1850. I might get called out. This has larger upside potential, but it hadn't moved. Like I said, I like to get paid to wait. So I sold the 1850 for today. So we're at 9:30, almost 9:30. So we got 10:30, 11:30, 12:30, 3.5 hours. We hold this below 1850 for 3.5 hours. Calls expire, I keep it, and we got that upside potential. If I get called out, I'll just sell more puts down here next week. I have a belief that this is bottoming out and about to go on a big run. If I miss it and I just play puts, no big deal. You know, this one right here, Celsius. I was in shares back here. This is before the 50K challenge, of course. In shares back there. I sold puts along the way, started the 50K challenge right in here. Got put some shares, booked some money on it, decided I wasn't going to play anymore, or actually I got called away right on this move and missed out that move. Like, am I like angry, sad, anything about it? No, I made money. I mean, made a good chunk of money on Celsius and moved on. Moving on. Inside here, we can go look at the symbols. You can see Celsius, 8 trades I made. Made about 800 bucks on Celsius. Rocket Lab, made about 1,200 bucks so far. Delta Airlines, haven't gotten put shares yet. Made about 1,000 bucks on that one, just selling puts. So, it's interesting. This one, looking for a retrace. We have that resistance area right there. I'm not going to sell puts into resistance because I don't want to sit through a giant pullback. All right, I'm a trend pullback continuation trader. When we get the pullback, I'll probably be back on Celsius right there. It's like Rocket Lab. I'm not going to sell, even if I get called out, I'm not going to sell anything until we get another pullback. Then I'll have to evaluate, is that support or are we going down here? If we get down here, probably sell the crap out of it again. Delta Airlines. This one, this dip right here, that was the low. Came up just a little shy where I expected, so I started selling puts again. If we break out, this one has large upside to go. I'll keep chasing, not chasing, but I'll keep selling puts on this one all the way up into the 100 potential. UAL also looks pretty strong. And pre-market pushing higher. I haven't been as aggressive here. A little bit higher price. Can't afford as many shares. to keep my exposure at about 20% of the account per position. So I've been going after Delta instead of United. If you got a bigger account, might be able to make it, make it worthwhile here. BTBT. Let's go. Got a few thousand shares, a bunch of calls. Looking for this to rip out. Mara was a big winner for me yesterday. Out of all my accounts, that candle right there, between Tesla and Mara, I was up about 30 grand yesterday across all my family accounts. Going to be up quite a bit when we go up here. Be a beautiful thing right there. Lots of people are like, do you still expect it to go out triple digits? Let's be realistic. It just gets back to this area right here. We're going to reevaluate. Can it make it all the way higher? Right now, this setup, that would be a crazy move. Now, if crypto really gets spicy, crazy moves can get crazier. And we could be looking at the expansion of this pullback back here. Been up here, pulled back. Can it set it up for the bigger breakout? Absolutely. I don't think I would expect anything above 120 right now. That would just be absolute crazy. Could it go crazy? Yeah, I mean, we've seen plenty of stuff go absolute crazy. Absolute nutso charts. I mean, look at this. This thing went from down here at 60 all the way up here to 300. So, Mara could do crazy stuff, all right? Entirely possible. I'm not betting the whole farm on it. I'm going to be getting the heck out of Dodge when we get to, I'm going to be liquidating stuff like crazy when Bitcoin gets that $150,000 to $170,000 target. We'll talk more about my crypto targets tomorrow. Pushing through that downtrend. If we stick this breakout, opens the door right there. Push a lot of things up. MSTR, push this baby up. That downside potential still sits there until we break out above these highs right over here. I am long MSTX, 2x leverage on MSTR. Looking for the breakout. Excuse me. If you don't have exposure to Bitcoin, some ways to play. BitX, you can get 2x leverage. So I expect a 50% upside on Bitcoin. That'd be a double here. It'd be a double here. And be a double here. So that's 3 ways to play. BitX, BitU, and BTCL. All right, and you notice Bitcoin's up there banging around the all-time high. This not quite doing that. But it does, locally, does have this little breakout going. It's a nice upside potential. We'll see what actually transcends. Double from here, put us up in this 105, 110 area, right up there. Should you play options on these? Absolutely not. I would not touch options on this leverage. Be careful with leverage right there. Boom, 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 boom. ES, grinding higher. Cool, we're gonna slow this whole thing down, huh? Let's reload. Reload. See if I can speed it up at all. May just be the browser. I've noticed Chrome is being nasty lately. Oh. By the way, if you don't have Trading View, you got 3 days, 3.5 days. This is the plan that I have right now, considering upgrading to this plan. You get 400 price alerts, 400 technical alerts, 2 watch list alerts. And these are kind of attractive to me, especially that 15 watch list alerts. This billed annually comes out to like $250 a year, something like that. This, a little spicier. What do you need? Heck, you can make do with this, but for 2 cents more a month, you get the premium. I've been running with the premium since I started being a guru, so it pretty much does everything you need it to. You're looking for tick-based intervals, there you go. But this one pretty much does most of what you need. If you're gonna actually do this with lots of alerts, you can get 400 price alerts. It's probably more than you could. If you're just trading, that's probably more than you need right there. I'm only using like 300 of them. I've almost got my technical alerts maxed out. That's the main reason I'm considering upgrading to higher level. Of course, I run systems based on TradingView, so there you go. That's available. Going on now. Yeah, it'll take whatever your current TradingView subscription is and upgrade it. So, I don't want to show you my personal information. So I would click the button and show you, but I don't have faith that it's not going to show all my information. ES, cranking it on out here overnight. Keep rallying. We did that pullback on Wednesday. I mentioned that if we could hold that 15 minutes and the 30 minutes, that we would probably push higher. And that's what we're doing. Held the 30 minutes. Pushing higher. About to be due another correction. But when we look at the S&P 500 charts, still a ways off at 63.60, hanging out right up there. That might be what we're going for. 63.65. Irrational exuberance. Let's take it straight up. When the market goes straight up, typically come back down pretty violently. Right now, that support all the way down here, hanging out around 5,600. Be careful out there. Be careful out there. If we're going higher, we're probably going to at least come back to the daily roadmap line. If we're going higher than this, probably come back to here before we push it on up even higher. I don't think we have the ability to just push through 7,000 without getting a sizable correction. You see it over here, sizable corrections. We're not just gonna keep grinding higher right up to 7,000. Just not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. Looking at the S5FI or S5TW. Took a step back yesterday. On S5FI. And just hanging with my homies here on S5TH. So despite grinding higher, took a step back. Participation, we saw a little bit of rotation, sector rotation yesterday. NASDAQ gunning for that 23.3 area right there. NDX gunning for that 22.9. Don't quite have that on the high. Looks like 2,300 or 23,000, excuse me. Russell, few people looking for this to catch up. I would be very cautious, expecting it to catch up. Very, very cautious. Now, it can prove me wrong. We can not do a correction. We can just, go ripping off. But right now, we are still in this danger zone. Doing the little doji hammer candle croquet hammer thing off the top. If this starts breaking back down below, watch out for a vicious downside. Oil, as I mentioned, we're going to go back up, test the roadmap line, and if we can get through it, we're probably going to ramp up to the 90, maybe even the 100 area. Right up here. Lots of people saying that, lots of mainstream media saying that oil's not going anywhere. I would watch out for that breakout right there. Gold also has the potential to drop back down. Bitcoin we already touched on. Ethereum just stuck in this box. We'll talk more about all that tomorrow. NKD. If we can break back out, get through this high. Global liquidity going to take us higher. We might have that blow off upside. We do have this prior high way over here to contend with. Got to get through that. Of course, when we can do that, opens up the door for this bigger upside around 49,000 to 50,000. Be pretty spicy. Dollar. No clear anything yet. A couple little candles up off the low. Doesn't mean anything. But this might be set to take a big rally right up here. Back to 101. Break through. We might go up to a new local high that we haven't had highs in the dollar for a long time. Higher than this. We might actually break out of this downtrend for the dollar. Come on up here. Visit like 120 to 130, 140. So looking at Apple. Max 7 stuff. Where's the opportunity? Apple hitting the bottom of the roadmap line. Has opportunity. Come on up to 225 up here. See if I can actually do that. Amazon not breaking out, just sitting here, has the opportunity to get a second move down. I am cautious. A lot of these, Apple looks like it can take a big correction down again. First big move down, retrace, hasn't really been moving much. S&P's making new highs without Apple. I mean, Apple's lower than it's been for a year, basically. Watch out. That can do a bigger correction. Amazon can do a bigger correction. Google can do a bigger correction. Meta, that rejected that breaking out there, could do a bigger correction. Can come all the way back down to the lows. Microsoft did that bigger correction. Now hanging out, trying to reach extensions. 508 is kind of my target there. Nvidia reached out. I expect this to hit 164. Could push on out to 176. Tesla had disappointing car numbers yesterday, but it wasn't as disappointing as the market expected. I don't know. So we saw a rally yesterday, but maybe that's just 1, 2, 3, 4, and we get the fifth wave move. Right down here. Be careful. Watch out for that. If we move down in there around that 270 area, hold it, we set up the bigger upside. And we could drift down into there, into earnings possibly. I mean, this could take us over to here to get there. Lots of premium on selling options against that right there. So that's the Max 7s. Not a lot of... Oh, I just traded some DJT puts. This right here. Nice upside potential. Looking at the bigger picture, though. Is this bottomed out? That's... Look at this chart. You're like, well, I don't know. So looking at the high back here, this first move down, the retrace. We're looking at the first move down here, the retrace, second move down. That hit that ideal correction zone right there. In between the 100 and the 1272, very classic for an A equals 1.272 C, or, actually move that over there. C equals 1.272 A. That's what we got right there. First move up, retrace off of that low. Not a clear 5 up, but looking at that move, came down to a 50% retrace. Potential measured bounce. Nice potential upside. We can see this rallying on up now that we broke out. Could be heading up here. I would target the 1272. Could go as high as the 1618. That would be the long term, out late into the year, maybe even into next year for S&PS. DDOG, golly, excuse me, getting alerts like crazy. DDOG probably got to break out. My bigger target up here around 230. Do you have this downtrend of highs we got to break through? It's only 2 so far, but it is 2 highs we got to break through. Getting through that gap down sets the stage for this bigger breakout. We'll probably have resistance around 164. CDNS, all part of the big breakouts in the market. CDNS pushing through those highs right there. First move down, second move down, 1272. That's nice upside potential there. Could be pushing up to 364. And if it, this is probably the first 5 up, it may reach that extension of 374, then do a retrace back down in here, somewhere in this area, before we do a bigger upside move. ANSS. That's just been choppy sideways. Doesn't really tell me a lot. Let's see. Potential 5 up. Retrace. First move up. Retrace. Has potential to push it on up into this area. Right up here. Yep. NVMI. Played out for now for me. I would be careful. Not expecting a ton of upside. 314 maybe. FSLR. Hey, that may be cooking the reversal there. This first move up. Right to a measured bounce. Continuation at least to this area right here. If we reject off of 225, that would be opening the door for a further downside. If we can get through 260, open the door for potential run higher. Maybe even up to 400. FedEx. Giving up on my FedEx package. It went to Wyoming. Asked for a refund today. Saga. So looking for this to push on up into this area right here. 270. Do you have this gap down we're pushing through here? Do you have more gap downs up here? So we may hit a wall up in here. 270. Not quite bullish on FedEx yet. Sezzle just keeps rallying. If we do the echo from back here, looking for that 336 upside. Restoration Hardware. I'm kind of bullish on this one. Expected another retrace, but we can just rip from here. That could be it, and we just keep going. Don't have to do another pullback. The tell is when we break through the 220 area. That would suggest we're just going on higher. Gets Global Interactive Technologies has a reverse split. It's complete garbage. Don't trade it. I wouldn't touch that. 2 candles does not make a trend pullback continuation. DPST potentially bottomed out here. First move up, retrace, 3 waves. So far, not telling us a lot. Not telling us a lot. Like I said, we have 3 waves cooking here. So we've got resistance hanging out right in here. Only, when you only have 3 waves and it's not very proportional, only expect a correction if it doesn't put us above the all-time high. So we may have resistance right in this area. If we can push through it, we can build a bigger upside. But right now, be caution of a turn down right there. Especially thinking about all those banks with that commercial real estate exposure. DD, DuPont, no more. It's a new. I swear, DuPont changes their name more than anybody else more than any other company I've kept up with. Not very clear. Potentially completing 5 up, but then it'd probably need a retrace back down in this area. Might complete a 5 up just a little higher, potentially around 77, 78, and then probably need something back in this vicinity. And that would set it up for a bigger upside for me. Stuff is declining. ASML probably needs the retest, some support. BGL, wouldn't touch it. PPLT, still 160. Robinhood, let's just look at Robinhood's charts. And we can grind on higher at 109. Nugget, potential to come back to the roadmap line. IONL, and leverage chart, be careful. AEM, I'm going to caution everybody. First move down, retrace. Second move down, watch out for that. Could I be wrong? Absolutely. Do I think I'm wrong? No. I expect the patterns to keep doing until, I just expect the patterns. Like, the patterns show up more often than they don't show up. So I expect the patterns, and that's just how I trade. I expect the patterns to work. Potential, all this price action was under the roadmap line, so I'm very cautious. 40, 65 on the upside there. BR or BPRN. Again, a lot of this price action underneath the roadmap line. 34 would be the upside. CBSH, these are all ready for potential entries today if you want to take them. It's a regular weird split there. 67 on the upside. Not particularly impressed with the statistics down there on that ticker. CLBK, a lot of banks. A lot of banks were on the list yesterday. 1621 upside. CNI. Here's the upside. Here's the correction. 109.74. ECPG. Little baby pullback here. Extension 4350. FISI. This one was in from back here. And we've obviously talked about this before. So it did another little baby pullback inside here. Probably did, it's done a few in here. 28.54 and 31.45 on the upside there. Hayward Holdings. This high, this low. There's the entry, 1520 upside. INNV. This high, this low. Potential entry, 461. Low price stuff, be careful. KLG, Kludge. Not particularly fond of that price action right there. That is a downtrend of highs. Doesn't negate that working out at 1897, but I would be not trading that one. I will not be trading that one. SYM. Let's take it a version a minute. SYM. Ooh, look at that. breaking out, cruising higher. So that had a big upside potential right there. And if we can get on up here, or even if we take a diversion back down, we could see a bigger upside there on SYM. KNX, Night Swift. This works out a lot. I mean, look, 40 trades, 77% of the time we go on to hit the target. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4 examples right there. That high, that low, 50, 29. I'm not drawn to it because this is not over 80 and this is not over 2. That's the ones I like to go after myself, but hey, to each their own. You can, any of these might work out. Like, any of these might fail. The expectation is for 75% of them to work. All time frames, all the time. 16, 18 upside. That one's pretty smoking. Now, the problem for me, this is not statistically significant, all right? So these numbers, take them with a grain of salt, but 93 and 5.2, that's really spicy, but this negates them meaning much right there since it's only 15 trades. 30 is a statistical population, so. LSCC. $60 on the upside right there. I mean, you could take LCNB with a smaller position. Likely to work out. 16, 18, that'd be what? About 8% upside. It's already up a little bit, so from the entry, so 5% upside. Not horrible. 4.8. That one's not bad. Nerd wallet. Potential to take that on up to 12. Not loving it. Statistic, it's relatively new stock, so it doesn't have much history at all. Got this high, got this low, kicking off the entry, 695 upside. Not loving the numbers there either. SPG, Simon Property Group. And this one, been around a while. The profit factor, better than average, but not stellar. Just a few trades shy of a statistical population. And 174 upside. That's not too shabby. Right there. Be roughly 5%. SSD. Maybe 169 upside. 30 trades, cha-ching, 70 below average, 1.1 below average, pass. THR, this fired off back here and then did another retrace right here. Sub move. So 31, 38 potential right there. Trip.com or TripAdvisor, I guess. I guess TCOM is Trip.com. TripAdvisor. That's actually hit the target. Entry and target. Boom. Done. UAL. So like I talked about, United Airlines, there you go. Potential big upside. We haven't actually broken through the big potential upside, but small little move. Puts us up around 90 on the target. 88 right there. VVX. Already in it from back here. And 54.50 upside. And WES is the wrong ticker. Need the New York Stock Exchange version. This one's already in it from back here. This high, this low. Smaller potential, 40.39 right there. And that's some opportunities that are out there for entry today. No, Robert, I'm not. No interest whatsoever. They're all pretty bearish. So right here we go. That's the kind of bias for the next, like I've been talking about, that's the bias for the next few days. 63, 65. And be careful out there. The account you save may be your own. Nobody's watching out for your money more than you are. I'll be hanging out through the close today in Discord. I'll be back tomorrow for a crypto special on the 4th of July. Happy birthday, America. Be safe out there. Be careful. Spend some time with family. I'll see you tomorrow.